Candy-sama, don't touch me there.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I don't know what you're saying, but I know I don't like it. Like some people say, like mommy milkers, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
come on, can we not? Welcome back to the Bookkeeper's Library. My name is Candy, and today, what anime are we talking about? What is this? I know this is my show, but what's the first one?
Wait, we're recording?
Yes.
Okay. The first one is... Oh, the English name isn't actually on this. Interesting.
Am I really the strongest?
Yep. Am I really the strongest?
Am I really the strongest? It's just only one episode, but I watched it, and at the 6-minute mark, I checked. At the 6-minute mark, I was like, I'm not it was a struggle. It was a little bit of a struggle to get through. It's like one of those stereotypical like isekai, right? What do you think?
Okay, where do I even want to start with this one? The animation is definitely not bad. It's, as far as just like strictly watching it, if you're not incredibly invested in it, the animation's fine.
Yes.
The voice acting, even though I can't properly judge Japanese voice acting, it's fine. There's nothing definitely like way out of whack. The voices match pretty well. The story is reasonably coherent. And then we have to get into kind of spoiler territory. It gets a little bit ridiculous, slightly challenging to try to uphold that suspension of disbelief. The only thing that I will really give it, and the reason that I'm probably going to continue watching it, is there's some level of interest and creativity around a mage that can only use barrier magic. Although many of the tropes that surround the skills and abilities of the protagonist are very well overplayed. it's
I just wish, because they have so much potential here, but the problem I see with it, and I'm an enjoyer of things. You show me anything, and I will have fun with it. Like I don't care what it is.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I will enjoy it. Even though I might not necessarily like it, I will still have a good time. But the problem I see with it is that they have a great story idea. You know, I'm just not a big fan of too much, like, comedy. Like I'm not a fan of too much comedy, even though, I love comedy, but this one,
I don't know if I would describe what goes on in this as comedy.
It's like it's kind of silly. Yeah, it's kind of silly. Like it's like like there are a few animals. Animals, yeah. There are a few. I'm gonna stick with what I said too. There's a few animals out there that are, very serious. There's a serious animes that are out there, and that have like, little touches of humor in it, but not too much where it's like, okay, I want to see blood. I want to see, like, violence. I want to see seriousness. Like get me like Shield Hero. Like Shield Hero. Shield Hero doesn't, well, it has a little bit of comedy, but it's like very serious throughout the whole, season.
Yeah, I think there's kind of a spectrum when it comes to anime. Not that kind of spectrum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's between that kind of cold grittiness, and Shield Hero isn't all the way on the end of that. I would describe maybe things like Akame ga Kill as the further end of seriousness, and there's obviously anime that's well past that. And then on the
wait, you say Akame got killed? That was the one with the scissors, right?
I mean, I didn't watch
Because
that
I was,
sober.
I mean, I was just never really. It's all right, but it's just
It
it's
is
kind of
gritty though.
silly.
It's
It's
gritty
kind of
and
silly.
it's got a
Oh, Okami got killed. Okay. So I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of something else where like it has she had like talking like a talking like suit or
yeah. You're
clothes or
thinking
something
of
like that.
Kill the Kill.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh god. Oh my god. Okay.
So
Okami got killed is when like they would have this ice lady who fell in love with one of the main characters, and it's old, so it's a little bit of spoiler territory, but she like dies and she freezes herself around the one of the main characters, and they break into ice, and it was like a romantic kind of
yeah, I mean
for the two.
that's okay. Yeah. The what was I thinking? Oh right.
It was one.
So the other end of that kind of grittiness scale is something like Konosuba, which has it's just completely interlaced with humor and stupid moments. It's quite enjoyable, and then there's some things in between, but you really have to calibrate the frequency of the humor, the type of the humor, and exactly what part of the storytelling that it's bouncing up against, whether it's the situation, which is often used in Konosuba, or the characters themselves and their personality traits, which is used in Konosuba. Just using that as a root example of the sillier end of the spectrum. But this one was, I don't know exactly where to place it. It's hard because it's almost like the story tries to situate it as though it might be something that's a little bit more serious and continually undermines itself in the process.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Good, because I'm just reading off of your mind right now. I'm not actually thinking for myself here.
It's because for example, you would think they would make it a much more serious situation where this is again spoiler territory, where they throw away the baby. You would think that would be a much more serious situation, like and then he meets his what do you call like he meets his demon fox servant lady, like
I mean, in the lore, it's a Fenrir, right?
okay, what okay,
That's blasphemous to at least one traditional religion somewhere.
somewhere,
You know,
and they I so and how do I say this next part? They go and I love the fact that their comedy is so wild that
it's absurdism.
it's absurdism. I can't even say it because it's like way crazy, and I don't want to say it right now. I don't you got to go watch it. You people got to go watch it. But like it's crazy. But it's like it's got a bit of funny but seriousness. I just hope that they don't overdo the comedy.
I will say, you probably should watch this if you have nothing better to do. But if you're choosing between two shows, I would recommend the next one that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's I if I had to predict the future of it, I think.
I think it's going to be a glorious trash fire like Kamikatsu. It's going to be.
Explain Kamikatsu, because I don't know.
As far as you want the storyline of Kamikatsu?
No, because I've probably seen it, but I just need to know what the plot is.
I believe the English name is Working for God in a World Without Gods, or Working for God in a Godless World.
That sounds familiar.
It's kind of hard to describe it without giving away the core plot device, but it is. It's not really an isekai because they loophole themselves out of being an isekai by the technical definition, but it is technically an isekai. And it is unbelievably sacrilegious, and that is why it's brilliant. Although they do kind of undermine their symbolic reference points a little bit in a way that makes it a bit difficult to take the story seriously at some points. I would kind of class it as that's what my prediction is for this one. Although I do not believe that Am I Actually the Strongest is going to be quite of the same.
Groundbreaking or something.
Not really groundbreaking, but I don't think the execution is going to be quite so good or quite so well done. Even if, what I'm making reference to, Kamikatsu, doesn't exactly do unbelievably well. It just kind of does pretty well.
Am I the Strongest will be an enjoyable anime. Don't get me wrong. I like it. And I don't really see no fault. It doesn't. It's on the borderline of cookie cutter. Very like on that, like it's like sitting like. Reason why it's on a borderline because I don't think I've seen a baby fight a fox before, so it's like okay. That's interesting.
I don't think it's really on the border of cookie cutter. It depends how you think about borders. I think it's planted a new flag and expanded the territory of cookie cutterness.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, now that I think about it, you're actually right on the money with that one. If I had to predict the future of Am I Actually the Strongest, it would be it would be something. Wait. There's an anime that was actually funny but serious. It was what was it called? It was like
most of them. That's kind of the hallmark of the genre.
No, because what's that skeleton isekai one? Lord Ainz?
Overlord?
Overlord. That is probably my favorite isekai anime. It's got to be my favorite because you have the main character be the bad guy, but he's still a good guy.
I think you kind of have to, at the root of the comparison there, or not really comparison, but at the root of the side point is, it depends what you mean by serious. Because, you're correct. There's that anime is very serious, but it's more strategically serious. But there's tragically serious, which would be something like a Kami ga Kill, or say an anime where your parents literally ship you off as a baby into the middle of a forest to get killed by something. That's tragically serious. And then there's things like Hell's Paradise, which is also tragically serious. But
Akame ga Kill. Go on.
Akame ga Kill is tragically serious, but also strategically serious as well. But it's not like it's. I'm sorry, but it's not like it's completely whimsical, which would be the strategic axes here. But there's kind of different ways of being serious, and I think most of the ones that really strongly blend that kind of silly, humorous side with serious, blend it with a strategic seriousness, which kind of provides a scaffolding for the humor to sit on top of.
Yeah, because now that I think about the Akame ga Kill, it actually had funny moments in it. Like, it was like, but you knew that it was serious throughout the whole way. Throughout the whole way, that was probably one of my. The ending was like so hard to stomach. It was like watching Made in Abyss, and we're just going over a bunch of anime, but it's like Made in Abyss. I don't know if you've seen it, but that was probably the only anime that made me tear up. And there was only one scene in Akame Got Killed that made me tear up. I ain't gonna spoil it for anyone who's watching it, but there was only one scene. Uh, but it was like watching. It was like watching all of or any episode of Made in Abyss, because Made in Abyss is just wild.
God, so I guess you don't cry over anime very often.
No,
Yeah,
I'm a man. I'm a big man.
Hey, you're smaller than me.
Yeah, yeah. For real.
I cry on anime quite often. Most recently, I cried on every single individual episode of Demon Slayer watching through it.
What? Really?
Yes.
Yeah, this Demon Slayer is pretty good. Like, we wasn't supposed to be talking about Demon Slayer today, but what?
Hey, we're free flowing.
What is when it comes to Demon Slayer, I see that they were trying, like, I think it's not even a gripe either, but I see what they were trying to do with the end of the last season to mimic the end of the last movie. And and what seemed like to me that they were trying to capture that emotion that they had at the end of the movie, and they try to capture that into the last season. And when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, and technically, yes, anyone in their right mind after a crazy fight like that would be emotional. But when I saw it, I'm like, trying too hard, maybe. But at the same time, like, it's like when you're watching, you know, I guess I watch so many anime where like the main character isn't emotional after a very serious battle. So maybe I'm just desensitized to like serious situations like that. Like, for example, you know, you don't see Goku breaking out into tears after he's fighting Frieza, but you don't see, you know, Luffy. I almost called him Loopy for a second. Jeez, that would be that'd have been embarrassing. You don't see Luffy breaking out into tears after he's fighting, like, you know, some boss, like so it's kind of like, yes, it does make sense. That is exactly what's supposed to happen in Demon Slayer.
Yeah, but
like, thank you for doing that. But my brain is like, are you trying too hard?
The thing that actually like makes me cry isn't really the emotional moments. Well, I guess it's slightly the emotional moments. It's more so, well, you know, my obsession with symbolism in general. And the story of Tanjiro is the story of the spirit of Abel. And so as it goes through, a lot of the symbolism and the imagery that's kind of holding up the character of the demons that he's fighting are universally recognized malevolent spirits, and they're incredibly well done. And what it is it the actions of that demon within the fight and within how it acts that makes it a danger to humanity is embedded in the story of that, either from a biblical perspective or from other mythologies. It borrows a lot of those different elements symbolically. And then when the demon is slain, that kind of flashback, because they do this every single time, that kind of flashback over the life story of what happened before they became a demon, is basically like a root explanation of how it comes to be that that spirit of malevolence would inhabit a person and why. And every single time they did that, I was thinking through it so much and I found it to be pretty well done, and also incredibly beautiful from an artistic perspective.
That is 100% right, actually, because I remember a scene where it's like, I ain't gonna say it, but like I remember a scene from there where it was like, ooh, this is deep. This is deep. So yeah, 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 yeah. I think I just gotta like normally I get out of my own head when I'm watching like an anime for the most part. I think there's only one anime where like, nope. That's a few. There was a few. I was like, nah, nope, I'm done. Not watching this. Like I think there was one where I just put it down after the first episode, or the second, because of the main character's love interest was just there to be a love interest. It's like even the girl from the Goblin Slayer, she's not a love interest, but she's possible. Actually, no. There's some other.
No, she's actually a fully developed character, bruh.
Yeah, exactly. She's actually a developed character. What I was meaning is that, like, at least she, had some development. While this character, she was just like some magic, high, squeaky voiced, uh, like female character who like didn't really provide much for anything aside from just being written as a love interest, and I'm like, that's kind of.
I think that can kind of be done well if you've watched Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy.
Ooh, I've not seen that one.
Okay, you need to watch that one. So does everybody else, but we won't go into that right now. We'll table that one, but I think the core, if the core of a character is as a love interest, there is actually a really interesting way that you can build around that, and I think that was done really well in Bastard.
What do you think? Oh man, there's so many anime we're gonna talk about, boy. There's so many anime I want to talk about. Screw it. So what's your thoughts on what was it? We have to watch this one, but you may have seen it. But it's like this boy. He's got like his right side of his hair, like eye covered with hair or whatever. He's like emo type. He's like My Chemical Romance type, right? But he's supposedly going to kill this girl he has a crush on or something like that, supposedly, because I haven't really seen it. I only seen like clips and everything. However,
yeah, this really narrows it down.
Yeah, well, there's only like I don't know, there's only like one I've ever seen do that, but like this boy, he wants to kill this older girl who has like but she has a crush on him, so he's like, I don't know how to handle this. It's like serial killer meets like the love of his life. So it's like weird. It's like weird. Like, and I'm looking at that. I'm like, that's an interesting take. Like that is a completely interesting take. Like on like in anime, and it's got seriousness in there. Like it's like clearly seriousness because it's murder. Like homicide, and other things that rhymes with murder. But it's like yeah, think of something. Yeah, but it's like it's very you see the seriousness is based there, but there's like little bits of pieces of like slice of life and like a comedy there, like not comedy but humor, because I feel like comedy is like something you see in a cartoon, but humor is something you would see in a romance. Does that make sense?
Well, from viscerally, yeah, but lexically, not exactly.
Yeah, it's a. If I still haven't said like my what I think is gonna be a part of this the future of Am I Actually the Strongest? It will, just to wrap this one up, it will be. I feel like it's gonna be a because what you gave me some food for thought though, but I feel like it's gonna be like a bit more like a funny than I would than I hope. I'm looking at the the cover art now, and it doesn't seem like that. It seemed like it actually will be serious, but I just hate it when, like you say, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they build up to this seriousness, and then like a comedy scene like comes out of nowhere, like when they make a silly face. See, I know an anime will be a certain way every time I see them draw a silly face, like when they're shocked. I'm like, oh, okay. Like okay, there's gonna be that kind of anime. And normally if they would like show that like like halfway in, something like that, halfway into the anime, then like okay, it's not that kind of anime, but it had those very rare moments like what's it called or what was that anime with Lord Irons again? I forgot.
Overlord.
There it is. So like that anime is serious. You know it's serious, but every now and again you have one of the main characters making a silly or one of the characters. There's only one main character, but one of the characters make a silly face or something like that to show shock or what have you. I For the longest time I kind of thought the slime anime was good, and it's still good. It's still good. I kind of thought it was like my favorite, but no, it's not. It's not my favorite. Not my favorite anime, but more my favorite isekai. My favorite anime is I can't. I don't wait. Hold on. I'll bring that up next episode. But the I thought like the time I got turned into slime was like my favorite isekai, but I gotta say,
I mean, it's up there, but it's not Mushoku Tensei.
Shogun Tensei. What the heck was that one about?
Bruh.
Hmm.
We'll do that later.
Okay, we'll talk about that one next episode.
We'll do that later.
But yeah,
that would take a while.
yeah, take a while. But yeah, am I actually the strongest? I on your like because of you said it. Because you said it, I'm actually going to follow this one. I got this well actually I was gonna follow it anyway. But it's just so what I said was a complete lie. But I'm gonna follow it anyway just so I can like stay informed, like to see like where it goes. Because so far, if I had to rate this anime, 10 out of 10. I'm easy to please. I'm very easy to please.
Okay, you can rate it with numbers. I'm gonna rate things with a metaphor.
Okay, right.
If I ever, and it would be awfully tragic and all of that, and I'd probably be sad and I'd probably run to help and all that good stuff. But if I ever had the chance to witness a train crash, I think I would sit there and watch.
What a way to end a podcast. Oh God.